Be the master over whatever you have and whatever you are. That's where the seeds of greatness are sown. Great wealth, great health, great results, great influence, and great lifestyle. Take interest and even delight in doing all the small things well. It makes you a sophisticated person who knows where the beginnings of wealth and happiness are. Surely life is reluctant to hand a fortune to someone who constantly messes up his paycheck. It's not the amount that counts. It's the plan and the faithful discipline of that plan that counts. The disciplines are those ingenious keys that unlock the door to the kind of person we really want to become. And becoming attracts all those treasures and values that most anyone would call the good life. Life in abundance, life in productivity, life in enterprise, life in influence, life in style. Mr. Schultz's best instructions to me in those early years were to develop a new attitude about myself, and a new attitude about all the principles that it takes to make life unique. Develop a new attitude about taxes, about paying your bills, about the marketplace, opportunity, your chances, wealth, activity, prosperity, service, productivity. What if you said, I love to part with my money, put it into circulation, help build this dynamic society? Wouldn't that be a better way to live if you loved to instead of hated to? What an incredible way to look at it. I will admit that it took me a while to actually say truthfully, I love to. But when I did, I found a completely unique new way to live. To love to instead of hate to. Shof even taught me to pay my bills with enthusiasm. But best of all, you won't believe what happens on your end. The new feeling of being in control and having a philosophy of life that brings joy instead of frustration. This whole new attitude will create for you a whole new world. Remember, it's something anyone can do. The important thing is to begin. Wealth is a plan, not an amount. Wealth plans, anyone can have them. Wealth goals, anyone can design them. Wealth habits and disciplines, anyone can develop them.
Did you know that it's not what happens to you in life that matters? It's how you react to what happens to you that makes all the difference. The more positive you are, the more energy you will have, and the more creative you will be. The faster you will bounce back from problems and difficulties, and the better effect you will have on other people, and the more successful you will be in every part of your life. There are 4 steps to developing a super attitude. First, whatever happens, resolve to focus on the future rather than the past. Instead of worrying about who and what is to blame, focus on what you want to do and what actions you can take. Develop a clear mental image or picture of your ideal, successful future, and then take whatever action you can to begin moving in that direction.
How do we engage in the kind of philosophical thinking that will refine our attitude to give us a chance for future fortune rather than what will be missing in the future? Now, why would one person have one attitude, another person have another attitude? We call that mysteries of the mind. Everybody has to choose for themselves. Everybody has to decide by education. Now, if you didn't know what the consequences were going to be, it could be very easy to choose the wrong attitude and not discipline yourself to the right attitude. What would we do for an extraordinary promise? Answer, the most unbelievable things. Would you crack the books? Would you burn the midnight oil? Would you engage in the extra thoughts and the extra disciplines if the promise was adequate? And the answer is, of course. But who wants to read? Who wants to burn the midnight oil? Who wants to put themselves through the paces if the promise isn't clear?
Think about where you are going rather than where you've been. Get your mind on the future. This automatically forces you to think in a positive and constructive way. Second, whenever you are faced with a difficulty, focus on the solution rather than on the problem. Think and talk about what can be done right now, rather than wasting time rehashing and reflecting on the problem and what happened in the past. Solutions are inherently positive, whereas problems are inherently negative. The instant that you begin thinking in terms of solutions, of what you can do, you become a more positive and constructive person.
Indecision is the thief of opportunity. If you don't decide, the opportunity could slip away. If you don't decide what you're going to do today, the day could get away and you're not very effective. I talked about in my recent travels about time management. And here's one of the best ideas of time management. Don't start the day until you have it finished. Is it possible to finish the day before you start it? And the answer is yes. If you don't finish it to the best of your ability, have some idea, some good plan, sure enough, the day escapes. And in the morning you say, let's see, what should I do now? In the afternoon you say, hey, time's getting away from me, what should I do now? And now most of the day is lost. Most of the day escapes not being utilized and doesn't work for you simply because you didn't make those decisions early, at the early part of the day. The decisions we make in the early part of our life sometimes last for a lifetime. The early decisions that you make about what you're going to do with your life, those decisions are vitally important. If you neglect them and don't make them, sure enough, the time passes and the opportunity sometimes is diminished, and sometimes you spend a lot of time now catching up simply because you didn't make those early decisions.
Third, look for the good in every problem or setback. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, a major proponent of positive thinking, once said that whenever God wants to send you a gift, he wraps it up in a problem. The bigger the gift that you have coming, the bigger the problem it will be wrapped up in. The wonderful thing is that if you always look for the gift, for something good, you will always find it.
I discovered you can be a nice person with the wrong plan. You can be a sincere person with a poor plan. And remember, it's not uncommon. Everything by longevity tends to get off course. Have you ever heard the expression, I don't know where it all goes? Well, from now on, make a new commitment to financial independence and to the value and the feeling that comes from knowing where it all goes and where it all comes from. It is just one of those important disciplines that cause you to prove to yourself that you are on a new road, walking in a new direction, becoming a new person, and arriving at a new destination. Without that effort, you will keep falling back.
The fourth way to keep yourself positive most of the time is for you to seek the valuable lesson in every difficulty. Assume that whatever situation you are facing at the moment is exactly the right situation and contains a lesson that you need to move ahead. Imagine that this lesson has been sent to you to help you to be successful in the long term. A positive mental attitude is indispensable to your success. You can develop a positive mental attitude if you will simply think about the future, focus on the solution, and look for the good. When you use your mind to take control of your thoughts and feelings, you'll be positive and cheerful most of the time. You'll develop the attitude that leads on to success and happiness.
So attitude plays a big, major part in how our life works out.